Level head game. K-Bomb 20. D2K. Jedi Knight. The Live and Level Gamers podcast, where gamers come to talk.
We are back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. We back. It's been a minute, folks. It's been a minute, about 7 days, but still a minute. But I'm happy to be back with this crew, with these people, with these individuals who are diverse and knowledge and intelligent, articulate, who love to play games, whether it's on the Sony PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Wii U, 3DS, Vita. Well, the Vita is dead, but we're not, saying anything about that. This is the Live and Level Game Podcast. This is your boy Levelhead. I'm going to let these dudes introduce themselves. Starting with my boy that I've been knowing for the last 10, 11 years. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yo, it's K-Bomb 20. What's up, y'all? We about to get this in, dog.
And this other dude right here that just be killing it on FullEffectGaming.com. He just posted an awesome article up today. Go check that out with the whole, what is that, with the thing with Nintendo and the new patent that they just, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hi, everybody.
So that is D2K.
Well, was that the Simpsons? Was that the Simpsons?
Dr. Nick Riviera.
Oh, it sounded like Krusty the Clown for a minute.
Now, what was that?
No, this is Krusty the Clown.
That's dope. That's dope.
Buy my products.
What is that? What is that thing that you put up? What was that post on? That was the computing. What is that called?
The supplemental computing device.
Yeah, supplemental computing device. So you see how D2K just let that rolls off his tongue so easily, and it struggles when it come off mine. But it's all good. Anyway, so we're here to do what we do best, and that's talk gaming. Well, something we do good, and that's talk gaming. But man, it's been a while, man. What y'all been on, dude? What happened last week? Why didn't we jump on? What happened? Now, that's my fault. I apologize. Folks, I totally forgot about the podcast last week. I was talking with my love and forgot. So that's what it is. And so we here this week to do it up. And so let's get it in. So what you been gaming on, K-Bomb?
No, you don't want to go with me first. Go let D2K go first.
Okay, D2K, what you been gaming on, man?
They just put into my queue WWE 2K16 for free, so I went on ahead and downloaded that. It's the first WWE game I played since 2012. I think that was one with Randy Orton on the cover. And I kind of got disenchanted with the wrestling games because I bought the game and I bought the season pass, and that's when I started to really find out about these companies and their DLC policies of, giving you. I mean, it wasn't as bad then because it did give you a complete game, but there was stuff that you still had to buy later, even with the season pass. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. And so I downloaded the 2K16. It's pretty straight. I mean, it feels pretty good. The controls to me feel probably as close as they've been to the AKI Asmik engine that we're used to from the like games like No Mercy and WWE 2000 and WCW Revenge and all that stuff on the N64. They done a good job of trying to emulate that style. It's not quite there yet, but it's pretty good. And right now I'm trying to play through the I guess it's like called a 2K showcase where I'm playing like the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin and playing through matches, his main matches starting from the 1996 King of the Ring,
which
is cool because I was there.
Oh, that's dope.
I was at the 1996 King of the Ring because it was in my hometown. So, I won that match, but now I'm trying to beat Bret Hart at the 1996 Survivor Series, and I can't do it because this bastard keep reversing all my moves. So I'm stuck on that right now, and I got frustrated. I said, I'll forget it. So I just stopped playing it, and I had to calm down from my anger. Maybe a couple of days later, I'll go back and try to do it.
Okay. So you said that's 2016's version, right? That's not the newest one?
No, that one comes out pretty soon, the 2K17.
Yeah, I actually saw some footage on that one on YouTube just yesterday, and I was actually intrigued by it. But you said kind of play like the AKI games, but not close?
Yeah, I mean, if your muscle memory, the way your muscle memory works from that game, you'll feel comfortable playing this game because the button that you will use for reversals is the same button. The button you would use to run is the same button. The button you use for grapples and punches are the same buttons. So it's pretty much the same. It's really, really close. It's not as intricate to where you had like 4 moves for each button for strong and then 4 moves for each button weak. It's not to that level from what I can tell, but it's pretty close.
Okay. All right. That sounds pretty cool, man. That's on the Xbox One, right?
It's on everything.
Yeah, I know, but you got the one you're playing.
Yeah, I got it for free on the Xbox One, yeah.
All right, go ahead, K-Bomb.
What's up, y'all? So, what I've been gaming on. So
you muted your mic.
He disappeared.
K-Bomb, your mic is muted. Are you talking? Well, we're having some technical difficulties, so when K-Bomb get his act together, we will bring him back in. So I jump to myself. What I've been gaming, actually, I've been gaming on a few different games. I've been gaming on Wave Race 64. Just oh, there he is. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, man. My phone has been tripping lately. I don't know what's up. So my bad. So so I've been playing for myself. I got into this game. I tried to get into it beforehand, but I sent it back because it was too overwhelming for me. But I picked it back up. It was on sale, about for $24, and I'm starting to get into it. I'm trying that The Witcher 3. That's what I've been playing lately, and that game is a beast. Man, the story is so rich, man. I mean, it's ridiculous, and this is my first Witcher, and so so I gotta get caught up. So I've been on YouTube watching videos of the first 2 games, just trying to understand what's going on, because this game acts like you've played the first 2. How they start dropping names, like I'm supposed to know who that is, and so I've been trying to get caught up, man, because it's a cool game, man. I mean, I don't like RPGs at all, and I don't like open world games. So the fact that I'm sold on this game is just like crazy to me. The fact that I'm playing a game and I look at my clock and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, dang, what am I doing with my life? I got work in the morning. So
that's the sign of a good game right there.
Exactly, man. I'm like, anal with it, man. I'm looting everything, every single piece I see in my face. I gotta loot it and
I think you're gonna have to go ahead and hook up a different mic or something, because But anyway, we still having some technical difficulties.
The
with,
mic ninjas are after K-Bomb tonight.
Yeah. So anyway, and I know you're gonna jump in. I don't want to just start what I've been gaming on, because I know he's gonna pop back in and say, "Oh yeah, so let me finish up." Here he is, right here.
Yeah, yeah, man. So what's going on with my phone? My phone all of a sudden starts to play music. So it just starts playing music out of the blue, and it kicks me off. And so I don't know what's going on. So let me wrap this up quicker. So yeah, I've been playing The Witcher. That game is dope. I played a little Last of Us with Levelhead. I let him spend time talking about that. Levelhead down. And I'm playing a little Madden on Xbox, so that's cool.
On the Xbox.
Say what?
Did you say Xbox?
Who say Xbox?
You did.
You did.
Who did?
You.
You?
Yeah.
You got an Xbox?
So your boy just.
Hold up, wait a minute. You got an Xbox and you didn't tell me? Oh, this dude got to get his mic fixed, man. We got a lot to talk about here.
You can't just drop a bomb like that.
You can't. First of all, let's say this, man. You can't come in here and try to slick that in on us, and then be having mic problems at the same time. We can't have it. We need you to get your act together on your side of the world, man. Wherever you at, up where you at, you need to get your act together. But hopefully he get back in here, man, so he can answer these questions. How he done got an Xbox? So he must got the S. So I gotta hear what he talking about. You know he slicked that up in there, D2K.
Yeah.
It's real slick.
It's like
I mean,
okay, I'm back. I gotta go get my tablet, man. Get this phone thing ain't working. But yeah, so what
you got saying, you just first of all, how you gonna slick up and say the Xbox like we wasn't gonna catch that?
And about an Xbox. That's pretty much what you did.
I was sitting there like, wait a minute, this dude just said, I know, like, that didn't even sound right coming out your mouth, man. That sounds like blasphemy. How you gonna get an Xbox and don't tell me? Of all the people, you ain't even told me, man, I got the Xbox.
Bruh, I just got it today.
Dang, what's the S?
No. I bought it from my partner because he's getting the S.
Oh, okay.
So he sold it to
me. You got the hookup.
Yeah. So he's getting the S, so he sold that to me. So I was hooking it up today.
Oh man, K-Bone defected to the Xbox One, man.
All right, so here's the deal. I've actually owned every Xbox. I've owned every last one of them. I've owned the original, which I modded. I've owned the 360, which I bought for Mass Effect, and now I have this one. So I've actually owned every Xbox. I just don't play it that much.
Okay. So you've been sitting here playing Madden on the Xbox this whole time we've been talking, and go slick up and try to sneak that in on me and D2K like we wasn't gonna catch that.
Y'all did good. Y'all was good. Y'all caught that. That was nice.
So, what all games you got on it?
Right now, I bought that EA Access.
Okay.
And so, and that gives you access to all of these EA games. Like a year after they come out, you can play all those EA games. So I'm gonna do that for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know what I'm gonna buy that's specifically for the Xbox, because that's the only way I'm gonna buy a game for the Xbox is that it has to come out for Xbox only. If it's multi-plat, then I'm getting it for the PS4.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. So everyone, now you know that K-Bum is not a PlayStation elitist. He will every now and again buy a rivaling company's piece of hardware.
I've owned all of them.
You know, he won't buy that Wii U yet. I don't know when that will happen. Hopefully, I don't have to sell mine to him.
We will not be buying that.
Anyway, let me get to me, man. So I've been gaming on a few games this week. First of all, one of the best games ever made, one of the most technically sound, a technical achievement, I believe, still stands the test of time. Maybe not graphically, not visually, but physics and all that is still some of the best controls ever. Wave Race 64, copped that this past week on the eShop for $9.99. I happened to be on Twitter, and somebody posted a picture of Wave Race 64. Is like, go get it now. Is up on eShop. So I went straight to the store, copped me one of those little $10 eShop cards. That was him calling me on my phone. I don't know why that happened, but anyway, caught me one of those cards, Came home, entered the code, uploaded Wave Race 64, and began to play. And I just love that game. That's one of the best games to me on the 64, and one of the best racing games ever made. You know, the music is still top notch. Like I said, the controls are still top notch. The water effects are still unbelievable. What it's doing is just, it's just a, like I said, I can't say much more than what I'm saying. It's just a great game. So, been enjoying that. Also, I've been on the Last of Us multiplayer. I'm not
Got my head
good at
down.
that. Yeah, I'm not good. But you know what? The last few days I've been holding my own. You know what I'm saying? I'm about a 3-4 downs and kill type of player right now. I don't do a lot, but I do enough to help my team. I don't get killed a lot anymore. You know what I'm saying? About 5 kills for me, so I'm not eating up all our men. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I played with K-Bum, I was a horrible mess. I'll admit. I don't want to upload that footage that I have
Ooh, Lord
stored on my
Jesus.
PlayStation 4. I was dying a whole lot. I was getting shot by people who was much better
See,
than me,
no,
and
no,
more
y'all
skilled
need
than
to
me.
understand what was going on. No, tell the truth. So I'm getting shot. I'm laying on the ground. I'm crawling the level head, and he act like he can't see me, cause you can revive your down partner. I'm like, level head, what you doing? He's, oh man, I ain't see you. The dude's coming
I,
around and put a bullet in level head, and I'm like, Dad, so you just gonna die? You're not gonna help me up, and then you just gonna die. Come
like
on,
I
man.
told you, I wasn't good. I ain't good, but I'm getting there. I'm improving. At least I'm being honest to the gamers and the people who's listening. I am improving.
I mean, if you weren't gonna be honest, I was. So
I'm stepping up, so to speak, but I'm enjoying this game, man, especially jumping on with King Cooper, you, and a few other guys that be on there, man. It's real fun, so I've been playing that. What else did I play? I played some Mortal Kombat on the PlayStation 4. Played some Mario Kart 8, like I told you guys I was. What else, man? I suck now at Mario Kart 8. I am rusty. Uh, I haven't turned did I turn my Xbox on any this week? Nope, didn't turn my Xbox on at all this week. Man, you want to buy my Xbox One, K-Bun? Oh, you already got one. Never mind. Anyway, so but that's what I've been gaming on, man. If you listening right now and you didn't know, Wave Race 64 is in the eShop. Do yourself a favor. Go get you some money. If you don't want to use your credit card, I will advise you not to use your credit card. Never put your credit card information on these systems. Don't be an idiot. Did Sony teach you anything with the PlayStation 3? Did you learn anything? Don't put your information on these systems. Go get you one of them cards and just use those. That's what I do. Go get your $10, come home, download it, and understand why we love Nintendo so much and why we're thirsty and waiting for them to go back to those days where they made those type of games. I want a Wave Race. Not Blue Storm or whatever that one was, but a real true successor to Wave Race N64. Anyway, I'm off my rant. Let's get it in.
and if you don't got money, take your mama's money. I'm just playing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. For real, don't do
So,
that.
it's been a lot happened since we last was on here. Gamescom is this week. What else? PlayStation announced that they're going to host a special event on September the 7th.
For sure.
We're still waiting on when Nintendo is going to tell us when they're going to reveal the NX. But we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start here, though. Since my boy K-Bum bought an Xbox One, since my boy D2K owns an Xbox One, I own an Xbox One. So we own all these bricks. We own these big boxes in our house. So now, since he has one, and Aaron Greenberg came out and said that the Scorpio might be the last traditional console coming from Microsoft, I want to get y'all take on this. Starting with D2K, man, what do you make of all this? Supposedly, this might be the end of consoles as we know it. What do you think? D2K. D2K? All right, well, he's not talking, so go ahead, K-Bump.
Man, the end of consoles as we know it. Well, it sounds like a very familiar story that we've actually been saying for a while now. That these consoles were going to start changing, and I think you saw pieces of that with some of the competition when you saw the Steam box trying to jump in and do their thing with it, and even looking at what's going on with these consoles with the life cycle and how long these games stay on the shelf are really starting to shrink. And even seeing the way that these consoles are doing these these point 0.5 systems, and that's something we didn't have last console. We didn't have 0.5 systems. It was if you got something, it was either cosmetic, so it was like a slim, or it was a color change,
Right.
anything of that matter. You never saw something in the same console that had what we consider better graphics or something like that.
Same
In
generation.
the same generation, yeah, I'm trying to say. So, I mean, I think the writing was on the wall. It just depends on how you wanted to interpret it. Uh, and the whole Neo slash the Nintendo Next system that they were talking about a new system, not even too far after the one came out. So I think this is the way things are going to be. I think the writing was on the wall. We just had to interpret it. So I don't know. I don't know if I like that though. I guess that's another piece of the statement is I don't know if I like that. I found comfort in console gaming because of the fact that I knew once I bought it, I was good for 6, 7 years. I didn't have to, like a PC, I didn't have to worry about upgrading. I didn't have to worry about them releasing another more powerful system during my life cycle. That once I buy a console game, that for about 6, 7 years, I'm good. And I can just play that, and they're going to maximize the game to the system that I'm playing. So I mean, I like that, and that's been taken away, and I don't know how close to PC gaming consoles really want to go. I know Microsoft want to go full PC. They want to get as close to a PC as possible because the thing is that's their wheelhouse. It's PC. And they can combine their PC gaming with their console gaming, and that'll cut down on the losses they get from that. I mean, that's right up their alley. But when it comes to Sony, I don't know how close Sony wants to do, but do they even want to play with Microsoft in that realm? Because, I mean, that's their wheelhouse. So, I don't know. I mean, I think the writing's on the wall, but I don't like what I'm reading.
Okay. We kind of been seeing this for a while. Actually, even Nintendo kind of been demonstrating this with their hardware. How you can play all the accessories like the Wiimote, the even with the GameCube controls worked on the Wii. The Wiimotes work on the Wii U. You can still use. Ways you can get around even getting your GameCube to work with your Wii U. So GameCube controllers to work with your Wii U. So we've been seeing Microsoft kind of move this direction slowly, creeping towards this whole ecosystem where we've been hearing this rhetoric across the board with both Nintendo and Microsoft, where they're trying to do what I think Apple is doing, where small iterations every maybe 2-3 years, where you can still have the backwards compatibility. You don't have to buy the new thing. Like I have a Galaxy 5. I don't have the Edge or the 6 or none of that stuff. But you know what I'm saying, it's still compatible. I still get the same thing they get. Maybe not the same resolution and all that, but I still got everything they got on their phone. So I guess it's the way it's going. I'm like UK Bum. I don't know if I like it. We haven't really stepped fully into it yet. But I don't like the idea of a new system coming out next year. I just bought one a year ago, and it's coming out 2 years, and it's better than what I got. But, the games that they're getting, I still get on mine. That's cool, but I don't know how this is going to play out. But go ahead, D2K. Share your thoughts on this.
Well, we've been talking about this before, that we kind of saw Microsoft going in this direction. because, like K-Bomb said, from a financial standpoint, it makes more sense for them to lean on their strengths rather than weaknesses. Microsoft has not turned a profit for their consoles since they've been in the video game industry. All their profit has come from actual software sales and accessory sales. But it doesn't really make any sense for them to continue making consoles because they've pretty much proven that they can't hang with Sony in that regard. They don't understand how to play the game. They don't understand the rules, and it will make a lot more sense. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't even know why they're coming out with Scorpio. Because when you have the whole play anywhere, play everywhere thing,
Yeah.
and then they turn around and say, "Oh boy, here we go. We're gonna have the most powerful console of all time." That's a contradiction. If I can play Halo on my PC, if I can play Gears of War on my PC, if I can play Forza on my PC, why do I need Microsoft hardware? Nothing that you're going to offer me is going to look better than a gaming rig PC. Period.
Yeah.
Period. So it's pretty much pointless to even have a box at all. I mean, what I thought they were going to do was just rely on Windows 10 being their operating system and just have, do their first-party games on PC and call it a day, which I think is probably their best bet. But they're saying, no, we're gonna beat Sony. We're gonna have a more powerful machine that they had, and that's what they did. They came out there at E3 and said, power, 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 and Sony said, games, and dropped the mic and walked off the stage.
Well, let me ask this though. Like, I agree with what you said, but do you think the Scorpio is serving a purpose for those who don't want to buy the high-power PCs? Like, if you don't feel like investing into, a gaming PC, the Scorpio is your answer, where you're getting the 4K, you're getting, the latest and the greatest. That isn't the S, that isn't the one. Yeah, it isn't the PC, but it's comparable. I think that's the idea with the Scorpios for guys like me who don't want to go, well, I'm planning on building a PC, but not for gaming, for my music. So I doubt I'll be gaming on it. But for me, I would probably lean towards buying the already put together console. I don't have to do nothing but buy it, hook it up to my TV, and there you go.
But you already have that. You have an Xbox One. We just got through saying that you're not going to have games on Scorpio that you're not going to have on the Xbox One.
Wait. They didn't say that though. No, they didn't say that. They said the other way around. The article that I was reading is that what they really want to say is that you're not going to have games on the Xbox One that you can't play on Scorpio. And I think they want to make sure they have some on both, but I don't know if they're fully going to buy into that.
That's not a good thing. I mean, Sony was kind of saying that at first, and they kind of backtracked from that because it really isn't a good idea. Well, because we talked about that from a developer standpoint of how difficult it would be for developers to make games specifically catered to Scorpio. Or not Scorpio, but for Neo, and not games that are specifically designed for the PlayStation 4. That's why they just said, look, the game's going to have to be scalable.
Right.
So if it's scalable games, then it can work. But if it's not, they're in trouble. That's not a good idea.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that what Microsoft is trying to do, same thing what PlayStation is trying to do with the 4 and the Neo, having that, where if you buy it on the PlayStation 4, the only thing you're not getting is the extra physics, the extra effects, but the core game is the same. I think that's what Microsoft is trying to achieve with the whole Windows 10, where you can play on the Windows 10 on PC, you can play on the Scorpio, you can play on the S, you can play on the One, all do something that the other can't do. The S is basically what the One was supposed to be. Had all the other stuff not been focused on so much, it would have been the S originally. But now you got the Scorpio that does even more graphics. It does 4K, VR, which is going to be totally exclusive to the Scorpio. That's gonna be the difference. You ain't gonna be able to
Right.
do VR on the one. You ain't gonna be VR on the S. You're gonna have to have a Scorpio or a gaming rig to do VR. But the games, if you buy Gears of War 4, you're gonna be able to play it on the Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox Scorpio. The only difference is on the Scorpio it's gonna be in 4K, the total best graphics outside of a PC rig you can get. But if I buy it on a one, it's not going to be any less of a. I'm gonna have the same experience. I just won't have all the shiny bells and whistles that a person with a Scorpio would have.
But there's
So-
another problem with this, and
What's that?
that's the Pascal cards from NVIDIA and the Polaris cards from AMD. You're going to have cards that are capable of putting out 2 to 3 teraflops for $100 from
Right.
AMD, and likewise like the GTX 1060. And I'm not sure how much that retails for, but these cards are like the RX 480 and RX 470 and the GTX 1060, 1070. These are cards that are capable of doing VR. They're capable of doing 4K, and some of them are less than $300, some are less than $200, some of them are $100. So it doesn't really cost that much anymore to build a gaming rig PC like it has in recent years, where you have to throw a stack down to get
Right.
the top of the line graphics to run games at ultra settings. Now you don't have to do that anymore. And you look at how much the Scorpio is probably going to cost. If you weigh that, it probably comes out the same. You might actually come out a little cheaper. If you already have a decently powered PC, then all you really need to do is to switch out your graphics card to get a more powerful one, and you're ready to go. And that's less than $200.
Right.
Instead of
I mean-
paying $400 to $500 to $600 for a Scorpio and be locked into that for 6 or 7 years, or however long it's going to be out on the market.
3.
I'm just saying, like for the folks that ain't tech savvy, who don't, like with the PlayStation 4, you can go into the box and actually flip out the hard drive and add a teraflop, or I think you get up to 2 gigs. I don't think you can add no more than 2 teraflops of hard drive, or how you say it? A
Terabyte.
Terabyte. Yeah, there you go. 2 terabytes of hard drive space. But I don't want to go into my PlayStation 4. I don't even want to risk it. I don't even want to take the chance of bending something, not putting it in right, or something messing up. And
I don't be no punk.
I'm kind of punking out on it. I was like, man, I think I'm just going to keep erasing these games until I run into somebody that, because I'm scared to do it myself. I know I can, but, so for folks who don't want to take those chances, I feel you, but I think the Scorpio, might be what they need, whether it lasts 5-6 years before they have to buy a new one. That might be comfortable for them, and yet, and it allows Microsoft to put their games in multiple places and generate funds coming from multiple places instead of isolating it on, you got to have an Xbox One, and we got to put all our games on the Xbox One, and if you don't have an Xbox One, you're not going to get to enjoy these games. Now they everywhere. So their software is going to be selling like crazy now, even though they got all these, you can play it in different places. You don't have to have the Xbox One to play it. You can just stick with your PC, and Microsoft still making money. So I think it's a smart move, man. I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know how we going to like it as gamers all the way around, but, we've been adapting thus far, so I guess we'll still continue to adapt. But I think it's all right.
Yeah,
Any final thoughts?
I'm like I said, I'm still not big on it, man. We'll see about it, man. Cause I'm not big on the whole having to keep buying new consoles and not new consoles, but having to keep up with the Joneses, if that's what they're going to try to do with their systems.
That's what I'm saying. But you have to be disciplined within yourself to know, like, do I need that to get that? Like 4K. I was just talking to myself. I got a video that I'm working on where I'm asking the question, is 4K necessary? Do I really need it?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
and I just came to the conclusion, when we finna go to the Neo here next with PlayStation, we finna bridge into this conversation, but staying with Microsoft, and what they doing, and I think all of them are going to try to do eventually. I'm just gonna be like with my Galaxy or with an Apple. The Apple iPhone. When the new one come out, I don't need it. I'm good. I'm good with what I got. You know what I'm saying? I wait until they make the iPhone 7. I skip two revisions. Revisions. I skip those two.
Yeah.
Can't wait too.
But I'm a video game whore, man. I need my technology.
But you ain't. But K-Bomb, you ain't went out and bought a PC yet. You ain't went out and built you a gaming rig yet.
Because I don't like PC games. That's the main reason why I haven't did that. I don't like to look at PCs. But man, I can't have. I don't know, man. I gotta have my stuff, man. I gotta have my stuff. And somebody out there with a better PlayStation than I do. Come on, man. That ain't gonna work.
Nah, I'm learning how to be disciplined already. Look. I haven't built a PC rig. I've seen them, and I know the games. Well, not Nintendo games, but the games I'm playing on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, I can play there as well. And I can have it at the ultra settings. I got the TV that can do the 4K. I got a 4K TV. Well, it's 2K that upscales to 4K. And it does look better than my 1080p downstairs. But you know what? It doesn't look enough. It doesn't look so much better that I don't want to play down here. I don't care. I think we at a point to where it don't matter much when it comes to resolution anymore. Maybe frame rates and all that matters, but resolution, 1080p to me is a sweet spot. I don't see us needing
resolution
4K.
Matters as far as getting up to 1080p and making that the standard, like
right.
Almost 2 generations ago.
Right, I'm there. I'm with K-Bomb I'm with D2K on that. I don't need 4K. I don't need it.
It ain't about what you need. It's about what you want.
I don't want it. That's what I'm saying. If I don't need it, then I'm not gonna want. Like me, I look at it. When I want something, it becomes like I need to get this. I gotta get this. 4K ain't just hit me like that yet. And like whatever, I'm good. 720p. Look, 1080p is cool. I didn't have no problem with 720. Jeez. So I feel like we are being duped and brainwashed into feeling like we need, like you said, man, he got a better one down the street. I got it. No, man. If he went out and spent $400 to get the better one, I'm gonna stick with this one. We're gonna play the same game. It's gonna look good on my TV. And when I go down there, I'll be like, wow, this looks real good. And I'm going to come back home and continue to play on my TV. And why go spend $300-400 more for the same game just for, it's shinier. Oh, man, that explosion was brighter.
Because it's shinier, that's why.
Okay, well, all right, bro. Anyway,
I'm just saying, bro.
No, you're not doing this on the Live and Level Gaming Podcast. I'm not letting you do this. Anyway. So, speaking on Sony Neo, Sony just announced that they're having an event on September the 7th where they're going to be showcasing, I think it's like a tech demonstration, something like that. It's not a game where they're going to be revealing new games and all that, but they're supposed to be showing off VR, and they're supposed to be showing off, supposedly, the Neo. So, starting with K-Bun, since I started with D2K last time, what is your expectations, man? What are you looking for with this event?
What am I looking for? Yeah, so I'm looking for them to you got to give me something that makes me say, okay. Well, one thing, they have to show the Neo. I don't think you can't have this special event and not show the Neo. I think that's just something you can't do. Yeah, you're winning this console, but don't make stupid mistakes. So I'm 100% waiting to see the Neo. Everybody's waiting to see it. And maybe you won't see anything playable on it because I don't want you to give me the whole bait and switch like they did. What's that game? The Watchdog. How Ubisoft gave you the bait and switch. You saw it at E3 and it looked so beautiful. You got it home on your console. You're like, what the crap is this? So I don't need that. So don't play it on a PC and tell me it's the Neo.
No,
That's
you know that's coming, right?
I know, bro, but that's like don't lie to me, man.
Bait and
Don't
switches
lie.
amongst all these companies.
God.
Everybody does it. Nintendo does it. Microsoft does it. Sony does it.
Yeah, but Sony, I mean, they have a bad reputation of doing that, man. You've been
They're the
doing
masters. They're the
I,
senseis
I
of
know,
the
I know. That's what I'm saying, man. Change it up. You winning. You don't got to do it.
Or something.
You know they gonna do it, so you might well go ahead and that's a given, man. So you might well accept that they're gonna show you some fakeage and try to sell it off as what the Neo can do. That's gonna happen, man.
Please don't.
They gonna do that, bro. But go ahead.
Well, I got to see specs. I want to see specs. I mean, I don't know if it's too early for specs. I don't think it is. So I do want to see.
It's coming out this year. It can't be too early.
No, it's not. It's not this year. I thought it was next year.
No, they talking about. I thought they said it's coming out holiday season.
Based off of what the CEO of AMD said about the 3 custom semi-custom design chip wins, she said one of them was for Scorpio, but she said another one was for a console that will be coming out this year. So it makes sense. It stands to reason that that's the PlayStation Neo because we know it's not the NX. So I would have put my best it's coming out this year.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. So yeah, okay. Well, then you got to show me games. You got to show me specs. Oh God, don't give me the bait and switch. You got to show me why this system warrants my money over the PS4 I have right now. That's what you got to show me. You have to show me why this new system, this 4.5 system, is better than my PS4, which I love, and it does everything I need to do. Playing the Xbox, I don't see any true difference. That Xbox is beating the PlayStation Net as far as everything that goes with it. Even the interface for PlayStation, to me, is much smoother than what Xbox has, but that's after 2 hours of working with it, so I can't really say that. But you have to give me a reason to want to pay more money for your system. Maybe want to sell my PS4 and to buy yours. Give me a reason. And if you don't do that, of even a valid reason, you're failing me. You have to show me why that system is better than the PS4. Show me VR. Show me why that VR plays better or something. Give me a reason to want to spend my money on it. If not, I mean, why are you making this system? Why? So
I'm gonna hurt your feelings on my part. Go ahead, D2.
You know, it's I'm kind of confused because in some ways the PlayStation Neo kind of feels superfluous. It's already the PlayStation 4 is already the most powerful console. It's already won the 8th generation. People look at the games in PlayStation 4 and they wonder why we need new consoles in the first place.
Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted.
True.
Oh, by the way, there's a rumor that one of the games that's going to be revealed for the NX has Uncharted level graphics. But we'll talk about that later. Anyway,
I like how you slid that in there. That's nice.
But the VR obviously can work with the regular PlayStation 4, and it has some type of what basically amounts to a mini supplemental computing device that allows VR to work fluently on a PlayStation 4. So if that's the case, then I mean, obviously, if VR will work better on PlayStation Neo because they have a more powerful graphics card and you won't need that little attachment. But I mean, I can't even think of games that they can really show. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Sony was going to show something. It's one of their major IPs that we haven't seen or heard about yet, or for a while, to show off what the PlayStation Neo can do. I don't know. I mean, they have to talk about it, but I don't really think that it's something that people need to be talking to the building for. I think people who already own PlayStation 4s are going to buy it regardless of what they see. I don't think they really need to convince anybody. I mean, I really don't see, if you enjoy the PlayStation 4, you enjoy Sony consoles in the past and Sony first-party games in the past, there's no reason not to buy the Neo, because you know it's not going to be worse. You know, so it's going to be better. I mean, I guess price point will have a lot to do with the determination of whether or not people feel it's worth their while to upgrade to Neo. Now, if it's you know, like $399, then people's like, yeah, I'll get it. But if it's more than that, which I don't think it will be, then people are like, yeah, well,
bruh, it can't be, bruh. Like, man.
Let me jump in here.
I don't
think Sony even knows why they're making the Neo. I don't think Sony really knows why I think they're just reacting to the market. They're reacting to the rumors. They're reacting to what they think their direct competition, Microsoft, is doing, and somewhat curiosity what Nintendo is doing. Sony is trying to maintain their position. They're leading. They're making money. The PlayStation 4 is single-handedly keeping Sony afloat right now. It's making them that much money, so they're trying to stay in that position. And saying 4K visuals was the only thing that they really could say, because like D2K just said, had the PlayStation 4 Neo been something that would make the VR experience better, then you have a reason. Okay, this is why. That's why it makes sense when Microsoft say, well, the VR experience is going to be coupled with the Scorpio. It's not for the S, it's not for the One. If you want to experience VR, you need to get the Scorpio, because that's what it's going to be with. Now the Scorpio really makes sense. If you want VR experience, the Scorpio makes sense. There's a reason. There's an incentive. That was the name of the video I was going to make. What is the incentive? Because I'm looking at the PlayStation 4 Neo, and outside of it can upscale your games to 4K, and it gives you a 4K Blu-ray player, I guess. That's it? Is that the reason? Like, everything else is the same. Your game's going to be upscaled to 4K resolution if you have a 4K TV, but it's not real 4K visuals. You might have better frame rate. So your game might be more stable. But if you play Uncharted 4, you will understand why we say, really, what is the purpose? I mean, I don't know. I think Sony is just reacting, man. I don't think Sony has really a clue why they're doing it. It's just, we want to stay number one. It's easy. 4K was easy to sell to consumers when your fan base is driven by power and keeping up with the Joneses and having the best thing out. They needed to say something, cause saying it's gonna be, the frame rate's gonna be better. I don't think that was enough to say we're gonna do 1080p full 1080. Well, that's what the PlayStation 4 is supposed to already be doing. It's supposed to already be doing 60 frames per second. All that is supposed to be happening with the PlayStation 4. So, only thing you can sell me on is 4K, and you can't even really do that native. So, and the Scorpio just threw a monkey wrench in everything Sony was trying to do, because I don't think Sony thought Microsoft was going to do a Scorpio. I think they thought an S, or Microsoft was going to take the same step they were taking. Microsoft basically is building a whole new system. This is not a stopgap system. This is not a 0.5. The Scorpio is a new system. That is another generation. That's a 9th gen console. PlayStation ain't ready to go 9th gen. They already spilled their beans with the Neo. They can't come out next year and say, well, we got another system to compete with the Scorpio. They're in a fix, because I think they opened their mouth too fast. I think they got a little comfortable with their lead on the sales. I think they was playing the market, thought they had it cornered by saying 4K, and Microsoft waited and pulled a quick, it makes sense when you look at what Microsoft did at their press conference at E3. It's going to have 5 teraflops. It's going to be this. You're like, why are they revealing all this? Because they put in the squeeze, and they letting everyone know the same thing the PlayStation 2 did to the Dreamcast. when they started labeling off what that system can do, everybody froze. They and like, I don't know if I want the Dreamcast now because the PlayStation 2 is coming. I just wait for the PlayStation 2. Well, if you know all the specs for the Scorpio and if power is your thing and if power is what's causing the PlayStation 4 to sell, well, Sony messed up because the Neo ain't gonna be a power system. It's just going to give you the illusion of 4K visuals, and Microsoft is going to give you 4K gaming, literally. And all you got to do is wait 1 year. So I think Sony is in a tight spot because once the Scorpio come out, everything that has caused the PlayStation 4 to sell should cause the Scorpio to sell because it's all based on the assumption, the illusion of being the most powerful, who has the longest, so to speak, who packages bigger. That's what it's on. That's what the PlayStation 4 is selling on, man.
My bad.
I know that. I know. I had to play around, But it's the truth. It's the truth, man. It's a comparison. Like the PlayStation 4 is selling off the illusion of being the most powerful. Sony thought by saying 4K, Microsoft would try to meet them at that. Microsoft was like, forget it. We losing. We don't like losing. We gonna throw this S out here. We gonna throw all this out. We gonna make an S. It's supposed to be like the Neo, but it's not. Now we got the stake in them. It's like we gonna give you two systems. We gonna do what Sony's scared to do. They're not gonna do what we gonna do. We gonna throw this S out there. We gonna improve the Xbox One. Buy that if you want Xbox One. But if you want real 4K gaming, wait till next year and get the Scorpio. Sony can't do that because they already said 4K.
Well, I think that both companies have made serious missteps that are going to hurt them in the long run. I think that, like you just said, Sony is kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because they pretty much started the party too early, and Microsoft put themselves in a situation where they said, hey, this is going to be the most powerful console, way out in front of what what Nintendo and Sony are doing. Right. So now you're stuck in a situation. Now, what happens if the NX is more powerful than the Scorpio? Now look at you.
Right.
So I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that you put yourself in a bad situation. You start making grandiose claims like that. And I just heard a rumor the other day that's saying that Microsoft is going to increase the power of the Scorpio to 8 teraflops from 6 teraflops.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just know. I mean, based on what they said, even if they stick at the 6 teraflop or the 5 teraflop level, that is a drastic jump from what we have now. It's going to be a noticeable bump. I mean, anything research you do on that is a noticeable bump. It's gonna look different.
Well, it's going to look different depending on who's actually making the games, because that's one of the things I'm learning is that you can have all the power in the world, but if you don't have the talented developers to make games to basically get that power out of the hardware, it's going to waste. That's one of the things that Nintendo excels at, is that they get every single ounce of strength out of their hardware that they could possibly get.
That's true.
And that's one of the reasons why people are beat on Nintendo so hard for having underpowered hardware, because they know what's possible if Nintendo had power that was on par with the competition. Just look at the GameCube. The GameCube was only like a step or two behind the Xbox. But look at the games. Look at the Star Wars games. Look at Luigi's Mansion. The F-Zero, the graphic, all the Resident Evil games and stuff. The graphics on the GameCube still hold up to this day.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you just how Nintendo can get the most out of hardware. But when you look at Microsoft and Sony, I'm looking at Microsoft and they're going the opposite direction. Because as powerful as the Xbox is, there's no excuse for Halo looking as terrible as it looks. I'm not impressed with the graphics of Gears of War. It's just a lot of stuff, first-party stuff. I'm like, this is what? Why am I getting 720p? What? Huh?
Yeah.
I
think that's what I think. I think the Xbox One was designed with a different idea and they fired the guy who headed those ideas, and now they're trying to fix it. And they fix is the Scorpio. That's why they make it a whole new system. They can't fix what the Xbox is. The S can't really address it. It can dress it up, but it can't address the problems. The PlayStation 4 is a pretty equipped, sound piece of hardware. You just have to be, I'll just be honest, PlayStation 4 is a pretty capable piece of hardware, where the Xbox One isn't, you know, there's bottlenecks in it. Well, the Scorpio is going to address, I think the Scorpio is going to be what Microsoft mindset and mentality is right now. That's the Scorpio, and when that comes, I think you will see what they really want to do, what they envision. The Neo is just, we had to throw something out there to have something to talk about while all this other stuff is happening. Because the PlayStation 4 is just a sound system. It's a quality piece of plastic. It really is. So I don't know, man. I mean, we about to go to Nintendo, but what about VR? K-Bun, what you think about VR? Like, what do you want to see with that? Or D2K, one of y'all. I think K-Bun might be distracted right now. What do you want to see with VR, man? Since they're going to be kind of showing this off at this event as well.
My bad. I was on mute. My bad.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you knew or not. Go ahead. What do you want to see with VR, man?
Well, first, let me kind of drop the nugget I was telling you about for Microsoft.
Go ahead.
So,
explain. Let everybody know what's going on with that. Go ahead.
All right. So, pretty much, I know a person that knows a person. How about one of those things? And my buddy has a friend. One of his best friends works for Microsoft, and he works one floor above the Xbox division. And so he was telling me a little bit about Microsoft and VR, and he was letting me know that that Microsoft is not going, like, they're not making a VR system. It's not going to happen. That's not their plan. But what they're probably going to do is allow outside VR systems to be used on the Scorpio, but they're not going to themselves create a Morpheus or a PlayStation VR. What they are going to invest is HoloLens. HoloLens. Yeah, my fault. Not HoloLens. HoloLens. That's what they're going to invest their money in. Is that HoloLens? And my buddy told me before it even came out. He told me how much it was going to be before they said that it was going to be $3,000 for this the version that's out right now. He told me how much it was going to cost, and lo and behold, when they released it, boom, $3,000. And that, to me, that gave him even more credibility with the guy that he has, because the guy had already been testing out the headsets. And so when it comes to Microsoft and VR, they're going to dabble in it, just because they're Microsoft, but they're not going to go full blown into it. And the HoloLens is what they're going to do most of their stuff for, and even that isn't truly for gaming. He was telling me all the things that the HoloLens is doing, and the majority of that is 75% of it's not gaming.
Right.
It's just going to be, if it's on the system, be used for it, but that's not their goal.
They're trying to integrate that into regular life, like you actually using this period, like.
So they're investing more in augmented reality rather than
Yes.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying the VR. No, just real quick. The VR stuff is just so that they're not too far behind, but that they're not going to be the ones doing it.
Yeah, and I believe that, because I believe VR is going to be a fad that's going to fade out just as fast as it is popular. I like VR. I like what I experienced, but like me and you said, and I still got to put them videos up. I don't want to play like that. I don't want to have to play a video game pretty much closed off from my surroundings, because I'm pretty much engulfed in a false reality. I don't want to play like that. I know it seems fun, but that's kind of more than what I want to get into as a gamer. Like for me, now I'm pretty sure there's going to be a niche group of individuals that are going to love VR. But I think for majority consumers, VR is not going to be where it's at. And I think Microsoft is like, I let somebody else do it, and they can access it with our system, but I'm not going to invest money. I'm not going to put money into that like Sony and have money wasted here when it probably would, like, especially with Sony, I don't think they're going to make back what they invested because it's the poor man's VR. I hate to say it like that, but once you, and K-Bum can vouch for me on that.
Oh yeah.
Once you experience Oculus, once you experience Vive,
especially Vive,
right? It's the poor man's VR. It's just to give you an VR experience, but it's not top quality. In some cases, it might even make you sick. I've been hearing testimonials. I haven't played it, but I can see if it's not crystal clear, if it's not balanced, it's gonna make you sick. I'm just being you. Once you experience VR,
I could see the PlayStation 1 making you sick. I really could see that.
Right. So it's the poor man's VR. I don't think it's gonna last. I don't think that they really, like I said, it's knee-jerk stuff that Sony is doing. Moves like the Move was. It was knee-jerk. It wasn't really fully invested in. It was just to say we got this too. And I don't think that's smart. I don't think the Neo is smart. I think Sony should have just played it out, kept pushing the PlayStation 4, and forced everybody out else to beat them. Why? Because that's what they did with the PlayStation 2. They were still kicking everybody's tail, even though the GameCube was more powerful and the Xbox One was more powerful. PlayStation 2 was just whooping everybody's tail because it was a good system. Bottom line. But go ahead, man. D2K.
Well, I mean, I guess this goes back to those how we talk. What we talking about? I don't know. I'm just completely lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say.
We still on
smoke and mirrors. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, smoke and mirrors we talk about, because at the E3, the VR that I saw from Sony looked pretty hot. I mean, I didn't see anything that was VR that looked weak. Everything looked pretty lit. If it looks like that when you put the actual glasses on, then I'm all for it. But if it doesn't, if that's just smoke and mirrors and the actual VR looks, less than stellar, then it's kind of a waste of time.
I'm going off the testimony of K-Bum and a few other testimonials that the visual is not bad, but it ain't. It's noticeably like there's a lot of distortion, jackies and all that.
It's not clear. It's not.
No. Well, that's disappointing, because I mean, what I saw looked really amazing. But if that's the case, then they can keep that. There's no reason for them to even mess around with VR. I mean, like you said, it's like they jumped in the water too fast. They didn't really have a plan for VR.
Yeah.
They just wanted to do it because it could be done. They didn't stop to think whether or not it should be done. And now they're stuck in a situation where they've invested so much into this VR headset that it has to be successful, because if it's not, then they're going to be right back where they started. And all this, everything that they've accomplished with the PlayStation 4 can be wiped out pretty quick.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
Right. It was a Me Too move. Like Sony does a lot of Me Too stuff. Like Sony has the potential to lock the game down if they want to. Same thing with Nintendo. Like, to me, Sony and Nintendo, if they would do what they can do, it wouldn't be no room for Microsoft. To be honest, if Nintendo would do what they can do, and if Sony would do what they can do and be wise with what they're doing, Sony and Nintendo could own the gaming market, and no one else could get in. But because Sony has a Me Too attitude, I have to have. You got that? I got something like that too. I got something like that. That's how they act, and it's like, are y'all thinking this stuff through? Are y'all really, like, the Neo proves to me? The Neo is proof that Sony was just doing a Me Too move. The VR is proof that Sony just had to have a Me Too VR system. Nintendo's problem is the opposite. They don't do enough Me Too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but anyway, these two companies, I love them, especially Nintendo. I have a kind of casual love with Sony. It's not, you know, she my side chick, so to speak. She side chick. I cheat with her every now and again.
That's funny.
But anyway, man, let's go on to this next point. Let's go to Nintendo. I think we talked it out. I mean, I'm looking forward to September the 7th. I'm ready for some new information. I'm ready to see the Neo. I'm casually intrigued. I want to know. I might not buy it, but I want to know. But let's go on to Nintendo, man. I made a video about a week ago where I said, is the NX the most popular console between the three, being the Scorpio, Neo, and the NX? Is the NX the most popular? And I want to start there. I know we're going to dive into a whole bunch of other stuff with Nintendo, but I want to get y'all opinion. Do you feel like right now the NX, not power-wise, people, I'm not talking power, I'm just talking interest, anticipation, curiosity, you know, is the NX more popular than both the Scorpio and Neo? D2K. Is he not there? Oh, I think he muted. Go ahead, K-Bon.
It's the NX more powerful is what you're saying.
Popular.
Oh, my fault. I used the wrong P word. I may be the wrong person to start this conversation with.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
Because when we say, I don't know if I want to use the word. I don't know if I want to use the word popular because I don't know if I can answer popular,
okay,
but I can answer the word anticipated. The anticipation.
Anticipated plays with popularity.
But that doesn't mean popularity, because understand that some people, the anticipation is the hoping for it to fail. You know, they're waiting to see it so they can clown it. That's what I'm. That's what I say about that. I don't think it's all just popular. I think some people are waiting for it for they can clown it and for they can say, "See, I told you Nintendo has no idea what they're doing." And some people are biting at their nails because they gotta have the system and they want Nintendo to get back in the game because they're probably the true grandfather of modern video games.
Okay, I got what you said. I'm using popular from the sense of the most followed, the most researched, the most Googled. You know, popular from that sense, not whether they're gonna like it, dislike, or whatever. But I would say the most. What's a better word? I get it. Go ahead. I see what you said. Maybe popular is not the right word. Go ahead.
Yeah. So also, yeah, I think there's just a lot of anticipation for it, because the thing is, if Nintendo makes one more mistake, this could be it. I don't know if they can bounce back from failure after failure, back-to-back failures, if that happens. The Wii was a success, was in the middle of two not so. I wouldn't call the GameCube a failure. Well, GameCube, yeah, but I don't know if the N64 would be considered a failure, even though they were good systems in their time. I think N64 had its own share of issues, but I don't know if I would call them failures. But definitely the Wii U. So I don't know. Some people are waiting to see what's going to happen from this. I don't know. Maybe popular is not a good word, but maybe some better words for it. But that's how I feel about it.
What is the word that they use for Tebow a lot? He was not that he
polarizing.
Polarizing. Is it the most polarizing? That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes, without a doubt, hands down, without a doubt.
Okay, all right. D2K, are you still there? Are you there?
I have some mic problems. I'm still here.
Yeah, go ahead. What? I use the word popular, but thinking about it, maybe popular is not the right word. Polarizing. Is the NX the most polarizing of the three, the Scorpio and the Neo and the NX?
Well, it certainly is right now. It's not so much about the NX console itself, but the whole argument on what type of graphics card is going to be powering the NX is the most polarizing thing that's going on right now.
Right.
Is it going to be NVIDIA or is it going to be AMD? And you know, I started to do a blog on the site, and I was going to title it "Click Jockeys,"
Mm-hmm.
because it
That's
seems
nice.
like that's what's going on with a lot of YouTube channels and a lot of websites, is that people are basically intentionally using what's a hot, red button issue and regurgitating it over and over and over and over and over again just to get clicks, just to get views. If you've already come out and stated your opinion about something, and you went out of your way to get all the facts together and make sure that everything that you said was clear and concise so that everybody can understand it, you don't need to say it again. Why am I looking at some people's channels and I'm seeing video after video after video after video after video for 2 weeks straight talking about the same damn thing? It's just getting on my nerves. I'm like, dude, you proved your point. We understand where you're coming from. Talk about something else. But people keep talking about these things over and over again. You got people saying, oh, it's going to be AMD because AMD said this, that, and the third. And you got people saying, oh, it's going to be NVIDIA because Eurogamer said this, that, and the third. And then everybody's pulling what their proof. Here's proof that proves my point. Here's a proof that proves my point. And it's getting ridiculous, and nobody knows what's going on because Nintendo hasn't told us anything.
Right.
And that's the reason why I made one big long post about it, and I left it alone. I said, I'm not talking about this. This is ridiculous. This is silly. This is immature. I'm not going to keep talking about the same things over and over. I'm not going to backtrack and try to damage control and backpedal because somebody else says something over here, or somebody else says something over there. Who cares? None of these people work for Nintendo. None of these people work for NVIDIA. So why do I care what they say? You know what I'm saying? This is getting ridiculous. So it is very, very polarizing right now because and it's Nintendo's fault because they're just kind of holding on to this to the last minute. But in my latest blog, I talk about the reason why they might have done that, and it does make sense if they did do it this way.
Well, I mean, I think the conversation that people need to have is not what Nintendo has in it. And it leads into my second question, because I watched the video that John Shaw put up, and I thought it was an excellent video where he said that why it doesn't matter. But the question that needs to be asked, and I planned on making this video before this podcast, but I'm gonna do it afterward, is how powerful as far as you listening, as an individual gamer, not as a collective. Don't worry about what your favorite YouTuber is saying. Don't worry about the group that you kind of lean to for your opinions and you kind of shape your opinions around what they say. No, think for yourself. How powerful does the NX need to be for you as a gamer? And once you come to that place, whatever it shows you, you know what to do from there. Like, then you don't have to worry about it. If it's not what you want, then keep shoving. If it is, then cop it. But this back and forth on AMD, NVIDIA, the latest rumor says the Tegra 2, who cares? Because we don't know until Nintendo says it, like D2K said, is irrelevant. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I am to the point where I am tired of certain individuals, and I would let them remain to be nameless. But dude, I'm saying I'm waking up, and I go to YouTube. Once I go to work, I go to YouTube and check out what's there. And I'm seeing cats up at 3 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning, posting videos. I'm like, all based around rumors. I'm like, dude, do you ever get any sleep? Like, when do you go to sleep? Like, I'm just saying, man, it's like, dude, you could post a rumor every 5 seconds if you wanted to.
And some people do that.
Right. It was back in the day. I said, get hyped. I made the video and I watched it today. I just wanted to make sure, listen to what I said in that video. I was saying, get hyped. Check out the room. But when Nintendo said they wasn't gonna talk about it at E3, I clocked out. Like, okay, that was a good year of listening to rumors, watching videos, anticipating, wondering. And once they said they weren't going to talk about it at E3, I kind of clocked out. I'm ready for them to talk now. I don't want to hear nobody else stuff. We've been talking for a year and more. We don't need to talk no more. There's nothing you can say that you didn't say last year, that you didn't say in December, that you didn't say in February, that you won't say in September. There's nothing we can say that ain't been said. There's not. So it's time for Nintendo to talk. So,
Exactly.
But how important? Now I throw this at you, D2K, and then I jump this to K-Bum. Just personally, how important is power to you? Where does the NX need to be? I'm not caring whether it's AMD or NVIDIA. Who cares? How powerful does it need to be for you as an individual?
It needs to be more powerful than the PlayStation 4. There's no
Okay.
reason for it to be less powerful than the current generation. Period. You know, people will say, let's just say for the sake of argument that it's just barely on par with the PlayStation 4, maybe a little bit more powerful. I would prefer it to be more powerful than that, but if it was that, they would say, well, it's consistent because, the Wii, was more powerful than the Xbox, which is the most powerful console of the 6th generation. The Wii U is more powerful than the PlayStation 3, which is the most powerful console of the 7th generation. If the Eurogamer report is true, they're saying this thing is basically overclocked Wii U. Maybe as powerful as the Xbox One, perhaps. That's inexcusable. Because now you're basically saying you're not only are you not competing with Neo and Scorpio, but you're still not even competing with the current gen. And this is a console that not Shigeru Miyamoto, but Tatsumi Kimishima said himself that will last a long time. So I don't see how you can have a console that's only on par with 7th gen, a 9th gen console lasts a long time with those graphics, even with a supplemental computing device. Because you have to have a good launching point in order to make the graphics look even better. If it's underpowered, even if you add more power to it, okay, now maybe you're on par with Neo, perhaps, maybe, but that's still not good enough. So it needs to be at least more powerful than the PlayStation 4. It doesn't have to be as powerful as Scorpio. It doesn't have to be more powerful than Neo. It just needs to be in the game. And then they can add supplemental computing devices or whatever to keep it going for the rest of the generation or permanently, because maybe this is what Nintendo's going to do. It's not just they're going to make the base console and then just basically use the SCD to upgrade the power and use the cloud, which is another thing that I talked about in the blog about how the supplemental computing device actually works. If what they're saying is true about you being able to share the resources of other people who own NX consoles, that can mean you can virtually have an inexhaustible source of power at your disposal. That's scary.
Right. Yeah, and they just approved and paid for that patent. Was that yesterday or?
It was it was a couple of days ago, but now it's their patent, and it makes sense to say that the reason why they haven't talked about the NX to this point is because they were waiting for that patent to clear. Because they came out and said something about it, said, "Oh yeah, we're going to have a supplemental computing device that increases the power a little bit, has a couple of processors, and it has more memory, and then you can share resources from other people who have NX consoles, and that can make the graphics boost the power system even more." Even though they would probably still win the patent in the long run. If Sony and Microsoft caught wind of that, they could say, well, why don't we do something like that? Now it's going to take longer for Nintendo to get that patent and win it.
Get all convoluted.
And now they miss their launch window of the NX. They don't get to launch until maybe 2018 or something. So it could be a reason why they were saying, we don't want anybody to know what we're doing. And it could have been that this was staring us in the face the whole time. We're just looking at it the wrong way.
Right. K-Ball, go ahead and give me your thoughts, and I'll come in after you.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna be long with that at this point. Then, I like how D2K put it. If you gotta come at least as strong as, definitely powerful than the previous. And I guess I was still confused on if they were still calling this the same generation as the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 1, I'm sorry, the Xbox One or the PS4. I thought they were, but for me as in Power, I it has to at least be. Uh, I guess the way I measure it's not just D2K said it very early that it's not always about power, it's the people creating the game for the system. And so what I'm expecting is if when everyone does their little graphic comparison videos when they compare the PC to the PS4 and blah blah blah, that the game is on par with the other guys. I know things are going to be different when the I don't know if the Neo, I guess, and the other guys come out because they're all doing 4K. And I don't truly know if NX, I guess they haven't really said anything, if they're going to do 4K. But yeah, they have to be on par with the guy with the current systems. So when you have those third-party games, that they're not lacking. It's not like, oh god, that's the NX version. I'm not getting that because I think they lose out a lot with that. The third parties not selling well. I mean, you can say a lot of reasons why, but if it doesn't look as the same or similar on that console, there's really no reason for the third party for some people who buy the system to buy it on the system because it's a far inferior when it comes to how it looks, and even for some points how it plays. So to me, they got to be on par. They don't have to be really stronger than them. I don't believe so, but they have to be on par. If they're not, it's going to be another loss.
So you basically saying like it needs to be the Xbox One to the PlayStation 4. Like it should, like the Xbox One game don't look better than the PlayStation 4, but it's on par.
Yeah,
saying like
yeah.
that. Okay, I'm with you on that.
That's my statement.
I've been thinking about this, man, and I'm gonna ask y'all another question, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer already. But I think there is something that we actually should be thankful to Nintendo for, even though we wanted this to happen. I'm glad that they didn't do it. I'm glad that a lot of the games that we wanted to see on the Wii U didn't come, like the Metroids, the true 3D Mario, the F-Zeros, and all the other games that we was begging for. We did get Star Fox, but we didn't really get a real ground built up on the Wii U Star Fox, but we did get a Star Fox. And we finna see, Zelda. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully on the NX, it'd be even grander on there. I think Nintendo, even though the Wii U was a failure, what D2K says rings loud to me because that's what I was going to say. He just said it better. Nintendo does know how to get every last drop of capability out of their system. They know how to use every part of they design and in some kind of way generate visuals and games that look great, even though the system says it shouldn't be able to do that. Like
and smooth frame rates too.
Huh?
And smooth frame rates too.
Yeah, like Galaxy on the Wii. Galaxy still to this day, 1 and 2, is a gorgeous game. Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U is a gorgeous game. Now it does have a lot to do with Nintendo's style, the anime style, but those still are gorgeous games. And the fact that we didn't see Metroid on the Wii U is going to play into when we finally do see it, if Nintendo utilizes the capability of whatever they put in there, they're going to utilize it to the fullest, and we're going to see some very great-looking games. So I'm happy that they did that. To me, I'm with D2K, and it doesn't have to be the most powerful. It doesn't have to be the second most powerful, but it does, in my opinion, have to be more powerful than what's out now. To me, it should be PlayStation 4 or better. It should not be less than the PlayStation 4. I think that is unacceptable. Don't mean I won't buy the platform, but I probably wouldn't buy it at launch. I'd probably buy Zelda on the Wii U, and then when whatever I want on the NX show up, I get it then. But because I feel like that's going backwards. The Wii U was more powerful than the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 marginally. The Wii was more powerful than the GameCube and Xbox One by margins. I still feel like Nintendo should do a little bit more than that. That's what I'm saying. Nintendo could own the market if they've done what they can do. I think they should do more than that. Not Scorpio, but more than just being marginally better than what's out. But if you're going to stay there, at least stay there. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I want them to be. They need to be somewhere between or on par with PlayStation 4 and Neo. Somewhere in there. If they in there, it's a day one purchase for me. If it's Xbox One, between Wii U and Xbox One, I might have to think about it. You know, I'm just being real. So let me ask this question. Do you trust Nintendo when it comes to power? I started with D2K first. I throw this at K-Ball. Do you trust Nintendo when it comes to power, man?
Well, I mean, that's kind of a loaded question. I mean, I don't. Nintendo doesn't come out and say. Well, the only verbiage that we've gotten from Nintendo in that regard was from Reggie saying that specs are not our focus, air quotes, focus. He didn't say that the Index would not be powerful, or he didn't say it would be underpowered. He just said that's not the focus of what this console is all about. Mm-hmm. But when Nintendo has decided to go tech heavy, they don't play any games. They do it right. You know, if you go all the way back to, I mean, you look at the GameCube. The GameCube was a system that didn't have the raw horsepower that the Xbox did, but still had games that outperformed and looked better than the Xbox did. We already know that the N64 was leaps and bounds more powerful than the PlayStation, and then they made it even more powerful with the memory expansion pack. You know, right. So stuff when Nintendo wants to go that way, you know, they know how to do it, and they do it right. So if Nintendo thinks that it's important at all for the console to be powerful, I don't have any doubts that it will be powerful enough to. They're not gonna half step on that. I don't think that.
So okay, so you do trust them then?
Yeah, I mean, I trust. It's like I said, it's a loaded question. That I trust them if they're going that direction, but at the same time, I don't know if they think that's important.
Right.
So on the other side, I can say maybe I don't trust them because, like I say all the time with regards to Nintendo, the only thing's for sure is that nothing's for sure.
Go ahead, K-Ball. We almost done. We get out.
Do I trust Nintendo with rap?
Yeah, I know.
Man, hold up, man. You don't know my answer, bro. Don't jump to conclusions.
Go ahead and say no, man.
Let me hold on. Hey.
Okay, I'll stop. I'll leave you alone. Go ahead.
Thank you, player. Thank you. No, I don't trust him. No, the thing is, the thing is, you know, I admitted back in the day that GameCube to me looked better than the PlayStation 2, PS2, right? Yeah. That's PS2. Yeah, the GameCube game looked better than the PS2. I admitted that. I went to a partner room and played GameCube. I'm like, man, the way they do their curves, that's killing PlayStation. It's so jaggy. Well, that's legit. But all the games on PlayStation, that's what I'm gonna play. And so, but since then, they've bowed out of the being the best graphic system and went more on being the most fun to play. And it's kind of like, I kind of see it as a retired fighter coming back to fight. You know, do they still have what it takes? Because like you said beforehand, the Nintendo will put out some powerful systems, some beastly systems, but they've bowed out of the game for a long time, and the way you make beastly systems now, it's not the same way you make it back then. Not the same at all. Not that I'm not saying that they can't. I mean, let's not say that. But to me, it's like it's a fire coming back out of retirement. It's like, here's a better way to put it. It's Michael Jordan coming back after playing baseball. You know, it's still Michael Jordan. Well, you've been playing baseball for a while, bro. You look terrible at it. Can you still come back and be 23? Because you came back and was 45 for a while. Maybe the Wii U is Michael Jordan at 40 with 45 on. Maybe that's what it is. And the NX is going to be him being back at 23. I mean,
I say the Wii U is Jordan with the Wizards.
Hey man, I try to be positive for Nintendo, man. You just
we keep it real here, man. Let's keep it 100. I mean, seriously.
Oh man.
I mean, it was a huge drop off. You know, I'm just being honest. You know.
Yeah, I would say this, man. I mean, go ahead and finish your point.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, what I was saying, I'm kind of saying what I said in my video, and if you haven't checked it out, go and check that out. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger there, buff and ripped up. This is on my On The Go series where I'm out and about talking games. But I'm going to say, had you asked me this, and D2K hit on it, had you asked me this GameCube and back, I would have said without a shadow of a doubt, yes. But because Nintendo's the way that they, philosophy has changed with the Wii and the Wii U, I would say no, I don't trust them with power. No, the Wii was cool, but I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I just be transparent. I love my Wii. I love the controls. I love Wii Sports. I love Zelda Twilight Princess. I love Skyward Sword. I love Galaxy. I love Galaxy 2. But I'm not going to lie to you. When I put in Gears of War, when I put in Uncharted 2, some of them other games, I was like, I wish Nintendo had Zelda looking like this. I'm not going to lie to you. I won't sit here and act as if the visual aspect of the game was not important to me. It doesn't have to be the best. But once you get used to that, and I feel like a lot of us are, most of us are this dude. I think I'm describing most of us. Everyone don't get pleasure after jumping on indie games and all that stuff. I'm not an indie game type of player. You might say I'm not a real gamer. That's your perspective and your prerogative to say that. But I don't play indies a lot. I like my big TV, and I like what it can do, and I want the system under it to take a full advantage of it. Massage my TV with all your fingers. That's what I want you to do. So when I would throw on my 360 and play Gears of War, as much as I enjoy Zelda, and Zelda was a better game, the visuals on the 360 just made me like, God, I want to... Even though the gameplay wasn't as good as Zelda, and you probably can't compare those games, the visuals just did something, man. And I can't, I can't argue. And I think we always Mario 64 visuals did something to me before I ever played it. The visuals did something to me. Wave Race, the visuals did something to me. Ocarina of Time, the visuals did something for me before I ever touched the controller to play the game. And for the Wii, I love the gameplay, and I think gameplay is the most important. But I can't say visuals and graphics is not in that top 5 of my protocol. My what would I say? What I want. So I feel like Nintendo has to hit that sweet spot. They need to find that sweet spot, and they need to put their flag right there. They don't need to try to compete with Scorpio. They don't need to do nothing 4K. Forget all that. Don't worry about that. 1080p, 60 frames per second, and the best visuals you can pump into that equation, do that. If Polaris is that, then go with Polaris. And do what you got to do to make sure you can put your flag in that sweet spot. And I think that's what Nintendo needs to do, because visuals are important, just like music is important. The gameplay to me is the most important, and Nintendo always has the gameplay on point. It's just with this new philosophy, I'm hoping. I see that they're pivoting some on that, so I don't know where they are right now. So I don't know if I can trust them. I'm like, D2K, it is a loaded question. I want to trust them, but I don't think I do. And I believe all of us are, if we were to be honest, will say the same thing. I want to trust Nintendo. We just really don't. And some of us accept that we don't and move on. Some of us mad that we can't and want Nintendo to change. But I don't think none of us trust Nintendo with graphics. That's why the other group argued that it don't matter because you don't believe Nintendo going to do it. That's why you say it don't matter, because you don't believe they're going to do it anyway.
And
so
that's a good point, because we have to learn to accept them for who they are instead of who we want them to be. We all have our vision of what we want Nintendo to be, but they have their vision of who they are going to be, and those things may not mesh. But you just have to make up your mind and say, okay, I'm just going to accept Nintendo for who they are, only giving us certain types of games, only giving us certain level of power, always giving us some kooky gimmick, and I'll just enjoy what I can enjoy, and I'll get my lion's share of gameplay elsewhere. Or you just have to continue complaining and whining and throwing temper tantrums. Why doesn't Nintendo do this? Why can't they do that? Why can't they do that? And have your heart attack for no reason.
So that's where I'm at, man. I mean, I do think it's the most polarizing, and maybe popular wasn't the right word. I think they should. Do you think they should reveal this thing next month, or do you think they will pack up shop and move it to another month because Sony is in that month? What do you think about that? And we end here.
It doesn't make any difference. I mean, if this was E3, they would be revealing it all at the same time. So it shouldn't matter that Sony is doing it in the same month. I think that it's imperative that Nintendo reveals the NX in September, because March should be here before you know it. And you're not giving anybody any time to really get ready if you're waiting past September. You're talking about, because I mean, the NX reveal can get lost in the shuffle if you wait too close to the holidays, because you have new hardware coming out. You got all kinds of things that are going on. You don't want to reveal it then, because people can forget about it really quick, because they're like, well, it's not coming out now, so why do I care about it right now? So I think that now is a good time to get it in people's minds, and that way it doesn't get pushed out of their minds so quickly, getting lost in the hustle and bustle of the holidays.
Yeah, I think they should do it in September. Wait to see what Sony gonna say with the Neo, and then craft their message to counter that and present this thing for why you need it. And I think they got a long enough cushion between now and the Scorpio to really build up a reason to buy this system. And like you said, the rumor is that there is a game on this system that's supposed to be, if we're going to talk rumors, that's supposed to be pushing visuals comparable to Uncharted 4. And they saying that it's Kid Icarus. So
I've heard it was an older. They said it was an older IP. It could be Kid Icarus, but I thought about something else.
Star Tropics or something like
that.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I think about.
It was either Kid Icarus or Star Tropics.
Because Star Tropics is a game that kind of is similar to Uncharted. It's not the same, but it's similar. It's in the same. Has the same vibe to it. And that would be that would be nice if they did that.
So Nintendo is in a good. I would say, as mad and frustrated I am with Nintendo with the secrecy and not telling us nothing, they're in a good position. But my fear is, if they wait too long, like D2K said, they can miss that window of opportunity. And once it closes, you'll be like the Wii U. The Wii U should have came out. Hindsight. We have hindsight, folks. It ain't that. I know what I said back in the day. I defended the Wii U like no other. I went on podcasts with PlayStation, Sony, and PC heads screaming and hollering at Nintendo Wii U and got sniped out of there. But hindsight allows me to look and make and kind of have a more sound perspective. The Wii U probably should have came out no later than 2011, and maybe the sweet spot was 2010 when tablets were just starting to come very popular. I think that would have been a wise move, but they missed that. Held their hand too long, released the thing in 2012. We thought it was going to be successful, but look where we at today. So Nintendo has to find that sweet spot, like D2K said, and they gotta make that March date. If they say they're not coming out in March, oh my God, it's like I don't know how many straws you could throw on a camel's back before it break, but Nintendo is in a good position. They need to take full advantage of it. But that's all I got. I got other stuff, but since John Shaw is not here, I'm gonna try to wait to Sunday and when we have Jedi Night on, because we will be having a podcast this Sunday, 3:30 p.m. And I try to bring some of that up at that time. So that's it for this podcast. I'm gonna let these dudes sign out. D2K just now loaded up the effects, but so throwing it to K-Bomb 20. Go ahead and sign out, man.
For sure, K-Bomb 20. It's been fun, and like LeBron James, I'm taking my talents to South Beach with my Xbox.
Yeah, man, this Benedict Arnold got an Xbox, man. Anyway, all that trash he talking, he gonna buy one. How much you spend on it?
What is it about? I got a good deal. I got a good deal. I got
Okay.
my partner. You know the VR guy. He the one that sold it to me.
You up.
Yeah, he
And
hooked
I
me
bet
up.
it's in good shape too.
Oh no,
I'm jealous.
the dude gave me the box and I got to open it. I say, bruh, this is like opening up a brand new system. It's pretty much a brand new system. It's clean.
Yeah, because I can tell. Yeah.
Hey, it's
He take care of
nice.
his stuff.
Same, but only thing that's different between what he gave me and a new box is that the tape is cut already. That's the only difference.
Right. Go ahead, D2K. Sign out, man.
See you guys later.
All right. Now, make sure you go to fulleffectgaming.com. Check us out over there. We got all that stuff up for you to read and watch and whatever is posted there. D2K got a beautiful article up right now on the whole supplemental, how you say that? Supplement computing, something like that.
You almost had it. You had 2 words.
Supplement.
Finish it off.
Supplementing. Supplement to say it.
No.
I messed it up, man.
That's funny.
Anyway, go ahead, go over there and check us out. But this is Levelhead. This is the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Tune in Sunday, 3:30 p.m. with Jedi Knight, myself, D2K, and possibly John Shaw and K-Bum if they can make it. Till then, folks, keep it gaming. Deuces.